Good evening. Welcome to Wednesday's guided meditation session at Vajrayana Institute. I'm Wai Cheong, and together we'll be exploring two different types of meditation over the next hour. The first will be my usual calm abiding meditation. Today, I would like to emphasize the importance of mindfulness of feelings in the process of helping our body and mind to calm all the various different reactivities and disturbances in order to facilitate the whole system, the body and mind, to abide in meditation peacefully and blissfully. So, mindfulness of feelings, in particular, mindfulness of pleasant feelings. So often, because of the very nature of calm abiding meditation, like it's often described as meditation for developing concentration, single pointed concentration. So very often, precisely because we thought that's the goal, so in the practice, in the process of practice, we put a lot of emphasis on sustaining our attention on the object of meditation, try to keep our attention continuously engaged, whoever it is we are meditating. Could be the breath, could be a visualized image of a Buddha, could be a quality like loving kindness. But we are always trying or struggling to keep our attention on the object of meditation, and which is understandable. After all, we do hear the description of calm abiding is a state where we experience a single-pointed concentration without any distraction. However, I thought we can look at it from another angle. It's also just as important to make sure that we gathered all the favorable conditions, all the suitable conditions that our system, our body and mind need in order for them to really put aside or let go of all those reactivities in order for them to settle down and go deeper into meditation. So one of those favorable conditions is actually mindfulness of pleasant feelings, in particular pleasant feelings that come out of our meditation. So by experiencing such pleasant sensations that are a part of our meditation, by you'll find that it has some really beneficial effects. In the early days, near the beginning of meditation, when we are new to meditation, experiencing such pleasant sensations, which could refer to relaxation, a feeling of relief, a release of certain muscular tensions, or the quieting down of thoughts. So all this related to can be accomplished with the help of mindfulness of pleasant feelings. As we notice the pleasant feelings that arise within our meditation, first of all, this goes a long way to reassure our own mind, reassure our mind that everything is all right here. And when the mind is reassured, it slowly, gradually let go of all the different worries and concerns, all the various agitations and distractions. Those get less and less in the face of contact with pleasant feelings that come from our own meditative practice. So, in the beginning of our meditation journey, mindfulness of pleasant feelings has the function of helping to calm our mental reactivities. And later on, when we are more experienced and we are able to really, to a great extent, settle the mind, then we find that at that time, mindfulness of pleasant feelings has yet another function of helping us to really gather back all the scattered energy of our attention. After all, something nice is unfolding within ourselves in meditation. This is very attractive. So it attracts all the different the energy of attention from the different places and attract them to come back to engage with whatever is happening, whatever we are doing, because we are feeling there's so much wonderful feelings, nice feelings coming out of our meditation practice. So that's the importance of mindfulness of feeling, especially mindfulness of pleasant feelings. So in today's first meditation, not that I can make it happen for you, but we can at least we try not to waste those pleasant sensations that come out from within our meditation. We try to, when we do notice them, invite them into our awareness, allow them to stay and linger for as long as they like. They don't last very long, they tend to fade and change and disappear. But so long as they're here, why not invite them into our awareness, into our mindful awareness, and just allow ourselves to notice them, to acknowledge them, and also for us to nurture them. Nurture in this case doesn't mean that we are constantly pushing against it, trying to get it to be more intense or get it to spread. We simply rest our attention on those pleasant feelings, pleasant sensations. And that's all we do, resting our attention on it. Naturally, the attention given to those pleasant feelings help to nurture them, nourish them, prolong their duration, and sometimes also help to increase their intensity or increase their spread. So viewed in this way is really important. If we do notice anything pleasant or nice as a part of our meditation, to not dismiss it. Instead, welcome those feelings, make them a part of our meditation practice, and see for ourselves whether there is any benefit. So, first meditation to explore mindfulness of feelings, in particular pleasant feelings. We'll do the usual meditation where I'm going to guide you to return your attention to the different parts of your body. Sometimes people call it body scan. It's a form of mindfulness of the body, and see whether that would help us to trigger certain release of unnecessary muscular tensions and tightness. And with that release, quite often comes a very subtle, pleasant feelings. After all, we feel much more relief when we're able to set aside those reactivities. So by really be mindful and invite those pleasant sensations to come into our awareness, make them a part of our meditation, we can see for ourselves whether they help or not. Right, so I invite you to settle back into a suitable meditation posture. So you can sit on a chair, sit on the floor, cross-legged, or you can lie down on your back in the supine position. Whichever posture works for you, and that's perfectly fine. So as we adjust our body, we settle into our meditation posture. See if you can take care to make sure that there is nothing obstructing or disturbing, especially the spine. We're not introducing additional and unnecessary pain or discomfort into the spine. Rest our hands and arms on some support. For example, sitting on a chair or on a cross-legged, we can rest the hands on the knees. We can place one on top of the other, thumb slightly touching, and rest both hands in the lap. So whichever way we choose, we try to make sure that we can transfer the weight of the arms, the hands onto the support. Allow the support to hold us up, to sustain the position of our arms. Next, feel free to close your eyes completely. Quite a lot of people find that easier. But if you are used to meditating with your eyes open or half open, that is also perfectly fine. So take a few moments and let the body settle into this posture. We're going to ring the bell to signal the start of meditation. So as we settle our body into the posture, into the meditation posture, we give our body some time to adjust, to get used to the posture. We want to reassure the body that this posture will support the body, keep it balanced and safe. And if that message is able to penetrate through to our mind or our brain, this helps to catalyze a process of release, whereby the body is able to loosen up a bit, to unwind, able to let go of some of those unnecessary contractions and tightness. Next, in order to help body and mind to shift gears, to really settle back and settle down to meditation, I'm going to invite you to first practice mindfulness of body, returning our attention to check in on the body, even just briefly, without much effort, to reconnect with some of the bodily sensations. So let's begin at the crown of the head and allow any sensations here at the crown to come into our awareness. Some people may notice a slight tingling sensations. Others may feel a slight feeling of pressure. Still others may experience warmth or coolness, or maybe nothing at all. Allow attention to flow forward and downwards into the face. Check in and notice the sensations at the face. If we do notice any tension here at the face, whether we are tensing up the muscles of the forehead, or the muscles around the eyes, or the muscles of the jaw, see if we can gently persuade those muscles to relax. See if we can invite in the different feelings, a feeling of softness, of ease and comfort into our own face. Moving downwards, be in touch with sensations at the throat and neck. Become also aware of sensations at both shoulders. How are the shoulders feeling today? This part of our body, the neck and shoulders, quite often we experience them as being tight and tense. A lot of those contractions are unconscious. But nonetheless, see if we can, if we do notice uncomfortable sensations here or elsewhere, see if we can simply just acknowledge them for what they are. Coming back to the body, become aware of sensations in both arms. Notice sensations from the shoulder joints, sensations at the upper arms, the subtle sensations at both elbows, sensations at the forearms, and eventually sensations in both hands. Now that we have awakened the sensations in both arms, see if we can give permission and rest the weight of both arms comfortably on their physical support. Coming back to the chest, become aware of sensations at the chest, the movements of the chest associated with the breath, the beating of the heart, sensations at the front of the body, at the back of the body, sensations from within the body. Allowing our attention to flow downwards to the abdomen. Become aware of sensations here at the abdomen. We can notice sensation at the level of the skin or the muscles, or further down, sensations from the various organs. Let attention descend further to the pelvis. Become aware of sensations here. And from the pelvis, see if we can give permission and allow the weight of the pelvis to rest comfortably on its seat, on its support. Surrender that weight to gravity. Moving further down into the legs, become aware of sensations starting from the hips, sensations in the upper legs, the knees, into the lower legs and the ankles. And finally, we allow awareness to flow into the feet, to be aware of sensations at the feet. Now that we have awakened the sensations in both legs, see if we can rest the weight of both legs comfortably on the floor or on whatever support they are on. Surrender the weight to gravity. And now we have traveled from crown all the way to feet. We have returned mindful attention, mindful awareness to our own body, welcoming into our awareness the sensations from all the different parts of our body. with the condition of mindfulness of body, this often helps to trigger a process of release, whereby the body releases some of the unnecessary tightness and tension. The muscles relax, soften. Quite often, subtle sense of pleasure arises from this release. See if you can be mindful and notice any of such blissful sensations, sensation of relief, of ease, of comfort, and welcome those wonderful feelings into awareness as well. Allow ourselves to be aware of them, to enjoy them while they are here. They don't last long, they fade quickly, and we let them go when they disappear. Allowing our body to abide here in the posture, allowing our mind to abide here now with the body, with the feelings arising, and in particular, highlight any pleasant feelings, however mild they may be, and welcome such feelings into the awareness. See if we can nurture those pleasant feelings, but without holding on to them or grasping onto them. And see what sort of benefits come from mindfulness of pleasant feelings. So coming back to here and now, coming back to the body, the different bodily sensations, the different feelings, pleasant feelings in particular. As we bring mindfulness to the body and mindfulness to the pleasant feelings that arise from meditation, see for ourselves what sort of effects such mindfulness has on our calm abiding meditation. Do they really help to settle the body, help the body to release unnecessary tension and reactivity? Do they help to settle the mind, help the mind to ease up, to put aside the reactivities in the form of thoughts, thinking, worrying, planning? And finally, do one last check in to see how the body is doing at the end of the meditation. Highlight anything positive or pleasant that you find within the body. Check in also on the state of the mind at the end of meditation, the quality of attention. Highlight to yourself anything helpful or beneficial, anything that come across as pleasant or interesting. Imagine gathering up all this positive momentum, all these positive changes. And then now we dedicate it, we give it a direction, we dedicate such positive momentums to work, to help us work towards fulfilling some of our wishes and aspirations. And also dedicate that may anything positive to come out of the meditation, may they stay with us, may they linger in body, mind, and heart, so that they can continue to benefit us long after the session is over. Okay, so there is calm abiding meditation with the emphasis on mindfulness of body and mindfulness of pleasant feelings. The second meditation, I thought we can, for the next few weeks, explore the cultivation of the four immeasurable qualities of the heart: immeasurable loving kindness, compassion, joy, and equanimity. This week we can look at loving kindness. One reason why it's called immeasurable is because it's supposed to be a quality of heart that we are able to extend to everyone. Most of the time in our day-to-day life, loving kindness has a much more limited scope, usually towards ourselves, towards those close to us. And of course, there are occasions where we extend it towards people that we come into contact with, or people that we know of who might be in need. So, but one way to help us to greatly expand the scope of our loving kindness, and also to look back at our closest relationship and help us to work with any difficulties or obstacles to us extending loving kindness, is to work on a very fundamental condition presented in the Buddhist teaching called even-mindedness. In other words, at the moment, our mind is not very even towards those that help us or perceive as helping us or kind to us, nice to us. We find it easy to reciprocate, to extend loving concern. For the vast majority of the people we encounter, we are indifferent to them because somehow they don't concern us. We don't perceive them as benefiting or harming us. So we quite often have very little concern or time for them. So we are indifferent to them. And for those whom we dislike or has hurt us or inconvenience us, we probably less likely to extend loving kindness. We may even feel anger or aversion towards them. So in the teaching, it says that it's really helpful on occasion to reflect on certain reasonings or that will help us to even things out, to not have such a sort of very discriminating mind towards the different people. And also this is true even for those who are close to us, our families, our close friends. I mean, occasion, most of the time maybe we go along well, but they also on occasion, we have disagreements, we have conflicts, and then we may, influenced by that, response with anger or hatred or aversion and so on. So it's really helpful to have a method that will help us to come back to a more balanced state, to not fall into states of aversion or indifference or attachment, to be able to come back to a more balanced state, and from that, on that basis, extend genuine loving care and concern. So in today's meditation, I invite you to bring to mind different people in your life. And before we extend or radiate loving kindness, in my method, the method that I use, usually I repeat a few simple phrases of loving kindness. But before we do that, I invite you to reflect a little bit on this one simple reason, a simple idea. This idea is quite often the Dalai Lama will talk about this. He referred to this as each human being or each sentient being has this innate desire, innate wish, wishing to be happy, to find happiness, and to not suffer, to be happy and to not suffer. It's something so fundamental, so innate to all of us, all sentient creatures. Sentience, in this case, means conscious, have the capacity to feel pleasure, to feel pain. It's a very natural kind of response. Each one of us in our life, from one point of view, we are searching for happiness and we are searching to avoid suffering. This is a very fundamental motivation. And from this point of view, we are all very similar. We can relate to another person. We may not agree very much with their definition of happiness or suffering. We may not agree with the methods they adopt to achieve their goals. So there are great differences in those areas, but we are very similar, almost the same. In each one of us are trying our best, simply trying to be happy, to find happiness, however we define happiness. And we're trying our best to avoid suffering, or whatever it is we perceive as suffering or painful or unpleasant. So if we think about this one point and try to relate to the people in our life from this perspective, that, hey, this person, my family members, my friends, my loved ones, they're just like me, exactly. They're just trying their best to be happy, to find happiness, the causes of happiness. Maybe they behave in that way precisely because they want to avoid certain suffering or problems. They want to secure certain happiness for themselves. And from that point of view, maybe we can actually understand, because we are also the same. That's what we are all trying to do. So I invite you to reflect on this one simple reason and apply it to the different people in your life, and try to see their behavior, try to see some of the choices they make from in the light of this reason, and to see whether this helps to bring us closer or help to even things out, so that even though we may still continue to disagree with them, disagree with their choices, disagree with their definition of happiness, and we don't see eye to eye on the methods they adopt to secure happiness, we nonetheless can still respond with loving kindness, precisely because deep down they're just like me, wanting to be happy and to not suffer. So that's what we're going to do next. And I invite you to settle back in a suitable meditation posture and take a few moments, allow our body to adjust and settle into it. Let's start with a few deep breaths, breathing in and out deeply, and on the out breath, remind ourselves to release. We allow the breath to settle back to its natural rhythm. And for the first few minutes of this meditation, we simply rest our attention on the breath sensations throughout the body. We allow ourselves to fully experience the in-breath and the out-breath. We come back to the breath. If we do get distracted, we reconnect our attention with the breath sensations, and we give special attention to the out breath. Each time we breathe out, we mentally say the word release, reminding our own system, our own body and mind that they can release. Breathing out, maybe some of the discomfort, tension, tightness in the body may flow away along with the out breath. And maybe some of the mental agitation, some of those thinking or planning or worrying, or some ongoing inner dialogue, we can release those words and images along with the out breath. Coming back to the breath, reconnecting the breath sensations, releasing on the out breath. A good place to catalyze the physical release of unnecessary tension is actually with our face. So often we unconsciously tense up certain muscles of the face out of habit. And now is a good time as we breathe out to see if we can persuade those facial muscles to relax, to let go of those tension and tightness, so that the whole face will start to feel much softer, more at ease, more relaxed and comfortable. And now we set aside the breath. We can always come back to the breath during the meditation if you feel the need to. You find your mind very distracted. Now let's turn our attention to the cultivation, the nurturing of loving kindness. So I invite you to bring to mind, one at a time, the different people in your life, those that you are close to, your family, your friends. You can do this in any order you like. Sometimes I like to do it randomly. And with each one of them, see if we can bring to mind a picture, a visual image of the person. And before we start radiating loving kindness towards this person by repeating a few simple phrases, I invite you to reflect a little bit. Look at this person, think to yourself, he or she is just like me, wishing to be happy, wanting to be happy, and wishing to not suffer and to not have the causes and conditions for suffering. And see if you can understand, maybe see this person's behavior, choices, actions from this point of view. And maybe that might help us to even out our attitude towards the different people and to be able to touch a genuine sense of loving concern within ourselves. Take your time with the reflection. You might want to explore the implication of this one single idea, or you may just want to briefly remind yourself of it in reference to this person. When you find that you finish your reflection in the light of it, see if you can offer loving kindness to this person using a few simple phrases that best convey your understanding. May you live in safety. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you live with ease. So feel free to use these phrases or change them or make up your own. Slowly and mindfully extend loving kindness by repeating the words. May you live in safety. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you live with ease. Coming back to loving kindness meditation, refocus on the visual image of the person you are directing loving kindness to. Feel free to stay longer or shorter with each person. And when you feel ready to move on, say goodbye to the person, release the image, and move on to the next person. Repeat the whole process of reflection and offering phrases of loving kindness. May you live in safety. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you live with ease. So coming back to loving kindness meditation, reflect on the simple reason, the, the one point that is shared by each one of us. Deep down, all of us have this innate wish, wishing to be happy, to secure happiness along with its causes, and we wish to avoid suffering and pain, as well as the causes of suffering and pain. As we reflect on this one point, see if we actually help to bring us closer to the different people in our life, help to see them in a different light, and maybe this help to open our heart, enable us to extend a genuine loving kindness to each one of them. May you live in safety, may you be happy, may you be healthy, may you live with ease. So as we invite attention to come back to the loving kindness meditation, especially when we notice our attention might have wandered off, become involved in thoughts and so forth. Coming back here and now to the meditation, refocus on whoever it is we are radiating loving kindness towards. As we picture the person in our mind's eye, allow ourselves to be reminded that this person is very similar to me, or exactly just like me, have this natural innate wish to be happy and to not suffer. And from this point of view, see if we can feel a sense of relatedness to this person. We can really relate to this person because that is precisely how I feel, and this is precisely our most deep-seated motivation as well. And in the light of such reflection, extend loving kindness. May you live in safety. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you live with ease. And then for the last part of the meditation, if you like, I invite you to return the attention to oneself, reflect on our innate wish to be happy and to not suffer. See our own choices, our actions in our daily life, the way we interact with others, the way we behave from this point of view, in the light of understanding that we are also motivated by the wish for happiness and the wish to avoid suffering. And having done so, see if we can radiate loving kindness to ourselves as well. May I live in safety. May I be happy. May I be healthy. May I live with ease. Okay, so that is loving kindness meditation. Thank you very much for joining me this evening, and wish you have a good week ahead and hope to see you next week. So good night.